evening, brothers, including the younger ones. I'm very, very happy to be here this evening because I got to visit the church that a longtime friend, former co-student of mine, even though we're a little older than many of you in the room, Pastor Audrey Phillips. Gave it the big try to be here tonight for that reason, but even more importantly, because of the testimonials, the sharing that all of you have made with us this evening, raising our awareness, sharing actual stories of struggle, difficult times in your lives, the great losses that you have experienced, and of course, all the suffering that our neighbors, our relatives, people in communities across Chicago, particularly people of color, suffer day in, day out, especially as it relates to the criminal justice system and the deep crisis that we are living here in the metropolitan area, be it the city of Chicago, some of the suburban localities, and of course, figuring out strategies for dismantling the school to prison, the neighborhood to prison complex that we live and suffer from in the state of Illinois. So this evening, I want to thank all of those who have provided testimonies and shared those special stories. Rosalba, Priscilla, Ziona, and Tony. This is part of that process of transformation, of change, of recognizing the harm, the wounds that have been inflicted, and the loss that people have suffered and continue to suffer unless we change the policies that produce and reproduce and perpetuate the conditions in our communities. I decided to come here tonight because of my respect and my love for the conveners, for the brave women and men that have testified and shared their stories here tonight, but because I also live in a community that experiences these situations on a daily basis. Whether it's domestic violence, which is kept as a dirty secret, not to be uttered, that needs to be shared, that needs to be told. These are people who are suffering, these are families that are hurt. Whether it's young people being arrested for the wrong reasons, overcharged and prosecuted, whether it's the use of bail, cash bail system here in Chicago and in Illinois that is applied unfairly and that becomes part of the systematic injustices of our system and our criminal justice system. But I'm also here because I represent the people who are detained every night at 26 in California, a place known as the Cook County Courthouse, but also the jail. It's in my district. Those are my constituents. And I owe it to them to try to be the best representative that I can. Understanding what puts people in Cook County Jail, what sends them off to state prison is very, very important. This is the first chapter, understanding what goes on in our homes, in our neighborhoods, and the institutions that should be making a difference that sometimes are not making a difference. But I'm also here tonight because I share the optimism of the ending of Tony's story. And that is that we must struggle, that we must redouble our efforts. And tonight we see young people here kicking off a new initiative across Illinois that is about healing and justice, especially in the to go on a little bit earlier than scheduled. I haven't heard all of the program formally presented here tonight and the initiative. But I got a sneak preview and I did read it. And I can tell you that I wholeheartedly endorse this initiative. This is a part of our communities. I applaud the Survivors Alliance and all the allies, because you have a new ally here that you may not have known that you have, and the healing and justice that will come from this. I just want you to also remember that there are people who care. Over the past 5 years, we have had a champion at Cook County and President Tony Preckwinkle, who has talked about incarceration, who has talked about the jail population at Cook County Jail being too high, who has talked about the cash bail system and its unfair application, who has talked about and helped contribute to getting a new state's attorney in Cook County. Put pressure on judges in Cook County to ask, are you doing everything possible to be impartial, to be fair, and to make just decisions about who ought to be detained and who ought to be released? Whether a bail amount is fair or not to a person, and whether or not we're simply locking people up because of their inability to post a $500 bail, a $1,000 bail, or an exorbitant $500,000 bail. To share that with you. There are other things that are going on. We make grants in Cook County government that I'm sure the president will talk more about. We have one of our leaders here who presides over that process, over $2 million each year. That didn't happen before this administration. Is it enough? It is not enough. We're looking and scraping for additional dollars to figure out how we can make a difference, but we're also encouraging other government entities to do the same. Because only when we begin to look at the root of injustices in our society can we come up with the correct strategies to really make a difference, and most importantly, to prevent violence from occurring, prevent unfair incarceration, and to make sure that the justice system works for everyone, regardless of their income, regardless of their neighborhood, regardless of their race or ethnicity. So tonight, I'm so happy that I came. I drive by this church at least 3 times a week and don't know who is in here. Today, I know who's in here. It happens to be a friend of mine, and it happens to be someone who is fighting and working to ensure justice for all of our people. Yes. So friends, conveners of this event, everyone who is here today, you have an ally in me. I look forward to working with you, to continuing to figure out how to dismantle the system of injustice that puts too many people in jail, causes families to be separated, and causes suffering. Healing and justice is achievable, and together we move forward as a force that is unstoppable. Thank you so much.